Hi everyone, I'm really excited to do this video. It's funny with podcasting because I get excited to do it, but then I get a little overwhelmed with the preparation. So like bringing everything to my bedroom, which is where I film, and just putting my thoughts together because I'm a little bit spontaneous when it comes to podcasting, I'm finding, and I don't like to really write down stuff. I feel like I'm a little spontaneous in a lot of my life, which is unusual because I used to be a very rigidly scheduled person. I think homeschooling did that to me. I think homeschooling helped me to become more flexible. But I did just write a few things down, and I'm excited about what I have to talk about today. So I'm going to put all my contact information in the description box here, and I'll also put, I'll try to remember to link to all of the patterns or yarn that I discussed today, and I think that's all I want to say about that. So today, it's a little bit after lunch, and I've already had a pretty full day. We have one day of school left, next Monday, and I officially declared it a trip to the botanical gardens. They put their new summer exhibit out. So we finished up all of our stuff. My kids took the testing that they had to do, did very well on it. So we are going to celebrate. We're going to go on Monday to Pittsburgh to the botanical gardens again to see the new exhibit. And so today, school lessons are done. The kids finished up on their own this morning while I went to the grocery store and to the nursery, the plant nursery, which I posted a little picture on my Instagram feed, some of the things I bought there. It's been my second trip into the nursery this week, and I have a really hard time resisting things there. It's kind of like when you go to a yarn shop. So I picked up this African violet. I don't know if it's yep, okay. Had to look and see if that was even in the view. I picked up two of them. This one and then one that's a little bit of a darker purple. I've had an African violet for 3 years now, but something happened over the winter. It's done. It's got leaves, but they look sickly, and I've pruned it back thinking, well, maybe it just needs to focus its energy on like a smaller portion of plant, but nothing I have done has helped. So when I was at the nursery today, they had these, and they don't usually have them, so I'm thinking it's because Mother's Day is here in the United States on Sunday. So I got two of them, and I'm gonna have to say goodbye to my other one, even though it's really sad because I had it for 3 years and I fertilized it and stuff, and I don't know, maybe they get to a certain point and they just don't produce flowers anymore. So when I was at the nursery, I bought the African violets. I bought some more herbs that I'm going to put together a little portable garden for my mom. I have some different herbs for Mother's Day. And what else did I get? I got this really beautiful shrub that I'd never seen it before, and so maybe I'll get some footage and stick it in, so maybe you'll have seen it already in the opening. I haven't taken any footage yet for the intro of this of this podcast, but it is so pretty and it smelled so good, and I couldn't resist it. And I did actually have a big spot in behind our house. In our landscaping, we had to move one of our azaleas because it just wasn't doing well there, so we moved it to the front of the house. And so I've had this big spot there for 2 years. So I'm going to put it in there because I think it'll be a good fit for that space. And I got a couple other perennials. I do really try to buy perennials as much as possible, because then I purchase it. So yeah, I'm spending the money, but it comes back every year. I do buy annuals though as well, just to kind of fill in on the porches and stuff. Like pansies in the spring and impatiens in the summer, and begonias. And so I do a little bit of both, but I really try to focus on what can I buy that's a perennial that's going to give me more of like an investment rather than I'm going to enjoy it for 3 months and then it's going to be composted. So I did that, got my groceries, made a couple stops, to pick up some Mother's Day gifts. And yeah, that's been my morning. And I thought, I'm going to podcast whenever I get home. All right. I want to start with my campsite shawl that I finished. Guys, I am in love with this thing. I really am. Okay, so I haven't woven in the ends. I wanted to weave in the ends, and I wanted to block this. And I wanted to take pretty pictures of it before I did this podcast, but then I realized that's just not going to happen because it's supposed to rain here for a while, and I wanted to take pictures outdoors, and blocking it was going to take longer. I'm like, I just need to show what I have so far. And once I have all that other stuff finished, I will take pictures then. But here it is. Peekaboo. And again, it's not blocked, so like this triangular point is not looking very pretty. So look at how big it is. Coming across. Ah, it's huge. It's huge, and it is so soft. I love it. I am in love with this. Make this pattern if you haven't. This is what I love. It's simple, yet I really like it. I think it's really beautiful. And I think the yarn was a really good choice. You know what I really like about this? So you have all these eyelets that they get closer and closer, so you actually have more eyelets as you work down the shawl. But then this ribbed edging, I love the ribbed edging. I just think that is such a nice touch on there. So I am so excited. I just need to get the ends blocked in just so I can, wear it. It's beautiful. It's cozy. Highly recommend this pattern. I'm going to make another one. Just need to find the right yarn for it. This yarn, I love it because it has such a nice drape to it. I don't think I'd like this as much if it was a stiffer yarn, but this yarn's just really nice because it's a baby alpaca. It just has a really nice drape to it, and I'm really happy with this. If you cannot tell, super happy. Yeah, so that is the only thing I finished. I'm just going to take a sip of water because, well, I'll tell you why in a minute. My daughter's making cookies, as I said, and she is making lemon lime gluten-free cookies, gluten and dairy-free, so I can eat them. But my weakness is the cookie dough, and she gave me some cookie dough, and I ate it before I started filming. And so, like, my throat is feeling like I just ate a bunch of cookie dough. And I'll probably feel sick later because typically I don't feel well whenever I eat sweet things. It is made with sugar, so it's not a sugar-free recipe, but it's gluten-free and dairy-free, so it's safe for me that way. But I still have to really watch with the sugar intake, so I probably will not be feeling the greatest later. But anyway, okay, back to the shawl. So, yes, love this shawl. Beautiful design. I'm going to take it off though, because I don't really need it on right now. Okay, that, like I said, that's the only thing I've finished, but I have started another project, and this is the Morning Mist. It's like spring top. It's just called the Morning Mist. It's by Annie Claire, and that is her name on Instagram, by Annie Claire. And I showed this in my last podcast, but I do have the lace panel that runs across the back. I would say it's 3/4 of the way finished. I got gauge. So when you do your gauge in this pattern, you're supposed to do it in stockinette stitch. And I got gauge with the size 6 needle, I believe. No, size 5, which is the one that was recommended in the pattern. But when I started to make the lace panel, I should have done, according to the size I was making, which was the next to the smallest, I should have had 10 lace chart repeats. But I got 8 repeats in, and I measured it, and it was measuring 10 inches, which is what it was supposed to measure after 10 lace pattern repeats. So I was trying to decide what to do. And I'm like draping it across my body, and I'm trying to figure out, should I do, like, maybe I should just do another repeat because I'd hate for it to be too tight. But it is measuring 10 inches, which is what it's supposed to measure. So what I ended up doing is just stopping that. Because basically what you do is you start, you do a provisional cast on, and then you knit your lace chart this way, and then you take those live stitches, put them onto your needle after you bind off on this side, and then you start working this way. And so I ended up just stopping after those 8 repeats, binding off, because I was getting the 10-inch measurement, and that was without blocking. So, and then I just picked up the stitches over here and started working this way, and I'll do the 8 repeats this way as well. And I think once I block it, because before you pick up stitches for the shoulders, you're supposed to block it, and it's going to stretch out a little bit when I block it. So I think that what I did was okay. I'm hoping. Because when I read through the pattern, it didn't appear to me that I had to have a certain number of stitches along the side. It was just more for doing the repeats to get the length across, if that makes sense. So that's what I did, and I'm hoping it works out. And once I get everything, all the stitches, like once I finish this panel and get the stitches picked up, and like you knit over this way, see the shoulder strap type things, and then you eventually join in the round, and then it's all stockinette stitch to the bottom. And then after you bind off down there, you come back up, I think, and work like a little cap sleeve on the shoulders. So once I get done with this, I think it's going to be really, really quick. And again, this yarn is Barocco Fiora. I noticed this is not showing up at accurate at all. I noticed when I was editing last week's podcast that it was very gray looking. I think it's still looking gray. Doesn't want to focus on anything but my face. It's actually mauve. It's not gray. It's mauve. It's very pretty. This is gray. Like, I don't know if that helps. It's a very beautiful color. So yeah, this is going to be the main body, that mauve color, and then the lace panel is in the light gray. Yeah, that's what's going on with that. That's my only work in progress, other than the socks I showed you last time, which I'm not even going to show again because I haven't done anything else, because I really want to get this top done so that I can wear it. I'm really excited because I don't have any summery knitted items in my closet as far as like garments. I have a shawl that I'll wear, and I have a shawl, and then I also have a linen scarf that I've made, but I don't have any like tops. So I'm excited to have that and add that to my knit wardrobe. All right. Let's talk about some yarn purchases. A couple podcasts ago, I said I was putting myself on a yarn buying freeze. That did not go well. But I'm done now. I'm done. and you'll get that whole story as we go along here. But what happened was, well, I had already ordered something when I said that. So one of these purchases actually was purchased before I said I was going on the yarn buying freeze. So I didn't actually buy as much after as I originally thought, I guess. So let me show you that, what that one was. It came in this nice little bag, Barrett Wool Co. So Melody Hoffman released the Little Twigs sweater pattern. I'm not really sure when it was, but I really liked it. And then Susan B. Anderson did a podcast about it and said she was coming out with these kits to make them. And she happened to be wearing a green one, and I absolutely loved it. And I think it was my very first or my second podcast. I said I need more green in my wardrobe because I like green, but I don't have any green. I think I have one shirt that has some green in it. So I went ahead and bought myself a kit. And because it's a kit, it comes in the bag. It's a drawstring bag. I totally had to pause because I just sneezed. Okay, anyway. So here it is. It's very green. In fact, when I got it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is greener than I thought. I thought it was going to be a little bit like a deeper, darker green. I love it, but I'm like, oh my, a whole sweater of it. Am I going to look ridiculous in it? I don't think I'll look ridiculous. I just think it's going to be like really bold for me to wear this color. Okay, anyway. This is maybe this is like the home. It says home, so I'm thinking this is the home base. It's worsted weight. 100% American wool in the Big Woods colorway. Yeah. So this kit came with... See, here's my problem. I'm so used to wearing blue and blue and blue. And she has, the Barrett Wool Company has some very nice shades of blue, but I was like, Amber, you need to branch out a little bit. You need to get some different colors. Not colors that I don't like, colors that I like. You know, I'm not... Hello, come over here. That may have been out of focus for a while, because I'm looking at my little viewfinder and it was focused on this basket of yarn. The yarn doesn't have a face. I have a face. Okay. Anyway, so it came with 4 skeins. I think I forget what size I ordered. I can't remember that. But anyway, it's a beautiful shade of green. It's beautiful. It really is. I feel like I'm gonna be really green wearing it. I'm doing it though. I thought about sending it back or maybe exchanging it for a shade of blue, and I thought, just do it. Be brave, Amber. Be brave. Okay, oh no, I'm sorry. It came with 5 skeins. There was one down on the bottom. So whatever size I am doing came with 5 skeins. And then, you get the download code for the Little Twigs sweater pattern. And then you get a tiny little container of little tin full of really pretty stitch markers. They're all different colors. They're like the light bulb shape. So that was a fun purchase. I think I almost feel like when I wear this sweater after I have it made, people are going to look at me and be like, is that Amber? Just because it's not a color people are used to me wearing, which, why do I care? I don't know. I don't really care. Okay, so like I said, that purchase was made before I put myself on the yarn buying freeze. Now, the next 2, the next 3, we're not. Yeah, so I've talked about Caroline. Darn it. One of her recent videos, she talked about how to pronounce their business name. And I don't remember how to pronounce it. So again, I will just put a little link with her name, Caroline or Carolyn, next to it, and link to her. I'll link to her Instagram page because she doesn't always have her shop open. So anyway, I had purchased some stuff from her before. I did a whole segment on one of my podcasts about that. But I had been also talking to her about, in the meantime, about the Tensho sweater and wanting to get some yarn off of her to make that. I had already purchased pink yarn, like a bunch of pink yarn off of her, and I had decided that I wanted to use those 2 of those pink skeins in the color work portion on the yoke of the Tensho pullover, but I needed the main body color, so I ended up ordering. That's what I ordered from her, even though I was on a yarn buying freeze. I contacted her about it, and she said that, you know, this is the last of it, so she wasn't sure how long she would have it. So I just did it. I bought it. 5 skeins, and it's an undyed yarn. It's a really pretty shade of brown. And this base, this is their Jordnera. It's 100% fine wool. So what I'm going to do is something like, I don't know, something like this. No, that's probably not gonna be. Maybe like that. I don't know if you guys know what the Tensho pattern looks like, but it's a yoked sweater that has just simple color work in it, and it's kind of just like a geometric design almost, is what I think of it, across the yoke. And so, and then it may have it on the bottom of the sweater as well. I don't remember if that's written into the pattern or I just saw somebody's, like somebody had done that, put it across the bottom. I'm not sure. But anyway, so this is what I'm gonna do, I think. Something with one of these pinks. I may have to just start knitting it and see which one I like the best with the brown. And, you know, I typically am not a sweater knitter in the spring and summer, but for some reason I'm on this big sweater kick. Usually I knit socks in the warmer months because they're smaller projects. But right now I really am just in the mood to knit sweaters. And I'm just going to go with it. Who cares what I feel like knitting? Just do it, right? Doesn't matter if it's warm out. If it's too warm, then I won't work on it that day. So that was my second thing I wanted to show you. And my last purchase is by Colleen of Little Lionhead Knits. Yeah. I have been following her on Instagram for a while. And I have also favorited quite a few things in her Etsy shop. And I've been wanting to purchase some things from her Etsy shop. And she did an update last weekend. We were in Asheville, so it would have been last weekend or maybe last Monday. And she put in some sock sets. And I bought one because I love it. So this is the Magnolia Wind. It's a merino nylon blend. So that's the main color. Blues, pinks, some maybe like some yellows. Very beautiful. And then the contrast, oops, is this really pretty blue. I really, really love the colors in this. I don't know how to get my camera to focus other than on my face. Maybe if I put that in front of my face? I don't know. But I think you could probably see, yeah. It's very beautiful. So Colleen, if you watch this, I'm in love with this yarn. These are just really beautiful colors. What else can I say? So I was very, very happy about that. And then the last purchase I made was fiber. This doesn't count as yarn, right? It's not yarn yet, it's fiber. And I do not have as big of a fiber stash as I do as a yarn stash. That's certain, so. Okay, so this is from Humble Acres Yarn, and it is Targhee, bamboo, and silk. So it's 80% Targhee, 10% bamboo, and 10% silk. And it doesn't have a name, it just has a number, but it's so pretty. It's just shades of purple, and then blues show through and some magenta, but it's mostly purple. So I think this is going to make a really beautiful yarn. This is something that I would be like, wow, that would make a really pretty shawl, like just a solid colored shawl. But I don't think I believe this is 4 ounces. And 4 ounces typically doesn't give enough to make a whole shawl, at least not the size shawl that I like. But she only had one of these, so I didn't even have the option of buying 2 of them. So anyway, that was my last purchase, except for one that hasn't arrived yet. I'm done then, guys. I'm done. For real, I'm done. Okay, so I want to talk about one other thing before I talk about some happy stuff. So I have a studio, and it is in our basement, and I've talked about it before. It's in a room that used to be a bedroom, so it has a big window in there, but it's still not real bright down there, so I don't go down there a whole lot. But basically it's a great room. It's a really nice room when I have it organized. This winter I've kind of been, it's gotten a little messy and a little cluttered, so I haven't wanted to go down there. I haven't found it inspiring. So I'm going to work on reorganizing that, and I already told you guys that last podcast, but now my goal is to work on it within the next couple weeks, since we're almost finished with school. So what I decided I want to do is, it can be challenging figuring out, how do I organize my yarn? How am I going to organize my stash? Right now I have it organized on bookshelves, most of it. I have a couple white bookshelves. So I have the shelves, I have the yarn on the shelves, and it's organized by weight and then also by color. So all my fingering weight is on one shelf, and then I have it organized by color on that same shelf. And then I have like my bulky DK weight, so on and so forth. I'll probably still do that to a degree, but I was thinking, how can I logically organize my yarn to make it the most conducive to creativity and to keep me inspired. Also just practical, so that I can see what I have and what yarn here did I purchase with a project in mind, and what yarn is just, I just purchased a skein of it because I really liked it. Because although I have a creative, artistic side, which tends to be more spontaneous and, just... I also have a very ordered side, and when I keep my ordered side happy, my creative side is also happy. Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense to anybody? So this is what I decided. I am going to bundle up. So for instance, I have this stack of yarn, and let's say I decide to go with this pink, okay? So I'm going to take this, I'm going to tie it up with a ribbon. I have a bunch of little tags, paper tags. I'm going to write on that tag, Tensho pullover. Clip it on, put it on the ribbon, tie this up, and so I'll have this pile of yarn with the project that I intended to use it for. And I'm going to do that for all of the yarn that I have bought for a project, a specific project. And then I'll put that on a shelf. And then I'll also just have all my sock yarn. Like some of the sock yarn it's just fingering weight, but I probably won't use it to make socks because it's, the fiber content maybe isn't the best for socks. So I may organize that in a separate area. But I think the biggest thing for me right now is just organizing the yarn that I have bought to make specific things, because I just have all of it on shelves. And when you do that, you sometimes forget why you even bought that in the first place, and then it just gets lost, and And then I also need to organize my hand spun. And I haven't figured out how I'm going to do that yet. Some of my hand spun I have for a specific project, so that'll be easy because I'll just bundle it up with a ribbon and tie the project name on it. But the other hand spun, I have to figure out how I'm going to do that. And I don't know. We'll see. I bought lots of old vintage jars, glass jars that are completely see-through. I found them at the thrift store. I have some baskets that I found. So I'm going to have fun just going down and organizing things. I actually really enjoy organizing things. I like to have my house clean, but I don't really like the process of cleaning, but I do like the process of organizing. So I'm going to be doing that, and I'll share that with you after I get it done. So I'm excited to do that. I think it'll be very helpful. I also have a ton of fabric that is a mess right now, and I don't even really sew. My daughter does. My daughter's the sewist. I'm not. I can sew little things, but I'm not making garments or anything like that. As much as I love to see what other people make, I'm not that good with a sewing machine, and I don't want to learn right now. I'd rather knit or spin. So, okay. I'm going to pause this. I'm going to get a drink, and then we're going to talk about the giveaway. The giveaway. Thank you guys so much. My goal was to hit 1,000 subscribers to my YouTube channel, and when I set that goal, I had 500 and some, and I thought this is probably going to take a while. But then it didn't, which was very surprising. And then my last podcast, I think I was 52 subscribers away from having 1,000 subscribers. And then I hit that within a day, I think. Anyway, I'm just saying this because I am very thankful that people watch this. It just makes me feel really good that people enjoy it. I know not everybody enjoys it because I've gotten, the thumbs down on YouTube videos. Which, what's funny about that is it Aubrey? Oh, shoot, I forget her name. She is Yarn Flakes. on Instagram, and then she also has a podcast that I watch. I think it was her. She said once, she either posted it or said on one of her videos, like, what's the purpose of the thumbs down on YouTube? Because it's not like you can even offer, like, it's anonymous, first of all. So you can't see who likes and who doesn't like your videos. You just see the thumbs up, the number of people that give you a thumbs up, the number that give you the thumbs down. So, like, for me, I have watched some podcasts that haven't been for me. But I don't give them a thumbs down. I'm just like, yeah, it's not something that I relate to, or it's not a style of, like, their aesthetic is maybe not the same as mine, so I'm not going to watch it. I have found podcasts that I really relate to and that really inspire me, and those are the ones I like, and I always give them a thumbs up. But even if I watch one that is not something that I really like, I don't give it a thumbs down, because I just figure it's just not for me, you know? At one point in my life, like, I can't even believe I'm saying this because it feels stupid to say this, but at one point in my life, I really would have felt sad that I got thumbs downs. But you know what? I don't care, because I figure if you like this podcast, then you'll watch it, and if you don't like it, then there are, you know, lots of other podcasts out there that maybe fit you better, and that is perfectly fine. You know, and that's how it is for me too. There's some I really love, and there's some that have been fine, but they're just not something that I completely relate to. Anyway, I don't even know how I got there, but I did, because let's just talk about the giveaway. So I'm super excited. So this was my 1,000 subscriber giveaway, and when I had originally mentioned this, I was just going to put together some goodies from me personally, and then I had two very thoughtful knitters / indie dyers contact me and say, can I send you something for your giveaway? Which just was so amazing. So amazing. It was like, I'm like, you want to send something for my giveaway? Okay, so I showed this last week, but I'm going to show it again, because this is the giveaway. This is the giveaway podcast. All right, so Robin from Robin's Roost sent this beautiful project bag. This is a very nice size bag. Let me open it up completely so you can see. Box bottom, okay, lined with a different fabric, and it's interfaced. Has the little tab that you can hold on to. All right, so Robin sent this, as well as a skein of yarn, because not only does she make project bags, but she dyes yarn. And this is a fingering weight. It's a merino and nylon blend. Watermelon Daydream. Very appropriate for the coming season here in America, in the Northern Hemisphere. So that's what Robin sent. And then, okay, so I had to pause it again. What can I say? I left, well, I'll tell you. Okay, so then I had Ashley from the Blackberry Ridge, who, she's also an indie dyer, and she carries some other things in her shop as well. But she sent me several things, and I left one over on the dresser over there, so I had to pause it to go get it. But she sent this mini skein set called Antique Store, and this is fingering weight. It's merino nylon blend, and there are 5 80-yard mini skeins. And these, I think Antique Store is just such an appropriate name for this. Beautiful yarn. Okay. Cute little logo. And then also, she sent a needle gauge with a pretty butterfly. Oh, beautiful. That might be a moth. Might be a moth. Whether it's a moth or a butterfly, it's beautiful. And then she also sent a little pin. It's wool and flax. You can put it on your project bag. And she sent me a couple things too, which I was really appreciative of, for free. Made me happy. So, Robin and Ashley, you guys are amazing. You are so thoughtful. You made me feel so thankful, you know, that you wanted to give something to the giveaway. So that is what I was sent so far, like for this. So far is what I have. Okay, and then I also have this Vogue Knitting, the Ultimate Knitting book that I accidentally ordered 2 of. Actually, I already had this one and I ordered another one, and then I thought I'm just going to give this away. It is not the latest edition. It's the one that was right before the latest edition. Maybe this is the original edition. I'm not sure. So it's a nice big book. Has lots of good information on it. And then when I was out today, I stopped in at a little shop in town. My friend Emma makes my favorite handmade soap. She uses all natural ingredients and essential oils. And I'm going to link to her in the description down below. Her company name is Yamali Naturals. So I picked up a bar of my absolute favorite scent of soap, Solstice. This is my absolute favorite. I love the scent of this. It has, it has all the different oils in it, but then it also has sweet almond. And then the essential oils are lemongrass, blood orange, patchouli, and clove. And I think I just love this. And that patchouli just gives it, Some people don't like patchouli. This is not pure patchouli, but you can definitely smell it in this. And I just think this is just such a wonderful scent. So I bought that to throw in. And then I also bought in, she makes this little, this salve called Green Goodness Herbal Salve. And I use this like when we get, if you get a bug bite or a bee sting or a burn, scrapes, whatever. But it's just a salve that she makes out of various essential oils, and then like veggie oils. She uses olive oil, beeswax, lots of organic herbs, comfrey, plantain, echinacea, marshmallow root, lavender, yarrow, and then there's vitamin E and some other stuff in here. So I'm going to also throw those in. And then because I don't know, I just like to personalize things. I like to personalize gifts. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to throw a couple more things in yet, but I don't know what, because I want to wait to see who wins. And then when they win, I want to kind of get a feel for them, who they are, and then tailor the other goodies I throw into the giveaway. Does that make sense? So this stuff for sure, plus a few other little things that I'm going to wait to add until I pick a winner. So this is how this is going to work. You need to just comment on this video. I typically like to communicate back. So if somebody puts a comment on my video, I will respond to it. I may not do that this time, just to keep things simple for me when I am picking a winner, because I'm going to do it randomly. So I'm just going to go by the number of comments. However, if I decide that I can't just ignore these comments, I'll just pull my comments out at the end and just put them in order, just number by number, how many comments. And then I will just pick one randomly that way, using like that random number generator, or whatever that's called. The reason I want to do it that way is because I said this last time, I'm not active on Ravelry, and it'll just complicate things for me. I know Ravelry is not complicated, and I use it to look at patterns and to buy patterns, but I'm not very good with communicating on there. I hardly ever check that. I got on and I had a message on there, and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel horrible because I don't really think to check. And I must have that Ravelry, like my notifications set up to an old email that's no longer active, like an old email account. So I just want to keep this simple, and I want to keep this open to people that watch my podcast, because maybe not everybody uses Ravelry. I don't know. And if you don't use it, then it would make it difficult to partake in the giveaway. So this is just what I've decided to do. So if you want to have a chance to win, and this is open to anybody, I'm not just making this like a United States domestic shipping giveaway. I'll ship it anywhere. I'm just really thankful for you guys for watching. It's so exciting to me, and I love that I can share some goodies with you. And so yeah, just comment below, and if you just want to tell me where you're from, that's all I'm asking. If you want to tell me other things, that's great as well. How long you've been knitting, why you watch podcasts, what's your favorite thing to knit, what's your favorite pattern? That might be interesting. But you don't have to do any of that. Just tell me where you're from. And that will count as your entry in the giveaway. And then I will just leave this open until the next time I podcast, which will probably be a couple of weeks. I'm easygoing, so we'll just see what happens. But this will be open until I podcast next. Then I'll stop there, figure out all the comments, and pick a winner. Okay, guys, I think that's all. It's Friday, so that's great. I love Friday. The weekend's coming up. We're going to do something. Our son's going away tonight to go to a friend's for the weekend, so I think we're just going to have our daughter here with us. So we're going to maybe go for a bike ride tonight if it's not raining. It looks kind of raining out right now, but just have a great weekend. Have a great weekend, and enjoy the season that you're in. The season, whether it's spring in the northern hemisphere or fall in the southern hemisphere. And also just let's enjoy the season of life that we're in. Whether that's, I don't know, maybe you're in college, maybe you're married and you have young children. Maybe you are in the teenage years with your kids like me. Maybe you're a grandmother or grandfather. So, yeah, I just really want to enjoy my life that God's blessed me with, and I hope you guys do the same. So, have a great weekend.